Hello, it's Miss Heather here at Conservatory of the Ozarks with
Berniece.
Berniece is going to start learning how to play the piano cheaters style with just playing chord progressions while she's singing the melody. And so this is a little tutorial on how to play a D chord and an A chord on the piano for her first song, Simple Gifts. So a D chord looks like this. So we're going to be playing it in root position, which means your thumb or one finger is on D, 3 finger is on F sharp, and 5 finger is on A, like this. And then for the A chord, for the smoothest voice leading, we're going to use the first inversion version of the A chord. So we leave our pinky here, lift up the 3rd finger, and put the 2nd finger down. So we don't actually have to move the 2nd finger, it's already in place. We just have to set it down. The thumb is the only thing that has to move. It has to go from this white key down here to this black key. It's kind of hard to get the angle right to show my whole hand. There we go. So it's like this. So D chord, A chord, D chord, A chord. So you can just practice going back and forth between those 2 chords this week a little bit.
Okay.
Because those are the only 2 that you have to know to play this song.
Really? Okay.
And so if you look at the chord chart, when it says D, just play the D chord. And when it says A, just play the A chord. You can play it with more than 2 chords, but we're going to keep it simple as possible for the first one. And if it gets to where you're pretty good at switching between D and A, then you can try playing, this is just the right hand part. We'll learn the left hand part later, but you can try playing the right hand chord on the beat. So like this, like you were playing with the metronome. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. So it's like your voice is sometimes singing 8th notes in this song, which means you're singing 2 pitches and 2 syllables, even though your hand is only playing 1, because these are like quarter notes, just exactly like if you're playing with the metronome. Okay. So your voice has to be able to sing a different rhythm than what your hand is doing, just like when you're strumming the auto harp.
Yeah.
Okay. This hand is like the strumming hand on the auto harp.
Okay.
It just does the same thing over and over again, and it just changes chords every so often. So it kind of works as both a drum and a way of providing harmonic support by, giving you the chord progression as you're singing the melody. So it's pretty simple, but at first it can be tricky. I guess if that goes well, the next step would be to add the left hand. The left hand will play the root of the chord as a whole note. So you'll play that root of the chord either at the downbeat of every measure or anytime there's a chord change, whichever one happens more frequently. So like here, there's a D chord, and it's still going to be a D chord here. You don't need to play a new chord with your left hand, but you're still going to play a D because you need to have the left hand play something on the downbeat of every measure. But and I don't think we'll have any in this song, but if we were following like these chords and you had a chord change in the middle of the measure, you go ahead and play your left hand in the middle of the measure, because you're going to play it every time a chord changes or every time a new measure starts. You need to have it on the downbeat on the 1, and then you just hold it. So you can have your left hand, in D position like this, just like your right hand, but you'll only play a D for a D chord, and you'll hold it like, 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a here we switch to A right up here. So you have D and A both ready to go. Gift to come down where we ought to be, and when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight, when true simplicity is gained. To bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed, to turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. And then the next step is to put both hands together so they both do exactly the same thing. One holds and one is playing on each beat. So like this is the D chord, and then this is the A chord, and the right hand plays on the beat. D, A. And that's all you have to do. Literally all you have to do for the whole song. So like, 'tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be, and when we find ourselves in the place just right. That's all it is.
Cool.
It's really easy.
Okay.
Really simple, in fact. But once you learn that pattern, you can extrapolate it for like a million songs. Hymns, pop songs, country songs, and it's really easy. Like once you learn where to put your hands for the inversions for all the chords, like you don't even have to practice before you. Like the song I played at the Valentine's recital for Susan yesterday, I've never heard that song before. I've never listened to it.
Really?
I have no idea what it's really supposed to sound like. I just follow the chord progression. You don't even have to think about it. It just is so easy.
Wow.
Which is why it's kind of a cheater way, but it's useful. And then the next step would be to add the damper pedal with your right foot, and you would go up, down every time your left hand changes to a new chord. So it would be like, it just makes it sound a little more smooth. You don't want to hear it break, but you don't want to hear overlap either. So like with the pedal, you want, in this case, you want this. You want the sound to be connected. You don't want to break, but you also don't want it to overlap. If there's a break, it sounds choppy. That's too much of a break, but if there's not enough of a break, you get a muddy sound. Like that. And that's also not nice. So you just want a connected sound. So your foot has to go up, down really quick. And then the next step after that, which will probably wait a while, but just so you know, you would stretch and make an octave for your left hand. And that's it. So